So I discovered this film recently. I'm not a fan of Tekken. I don't know anything about its story or its characters, but the movie had an art style reminiscent of Advent Children's, and probably would have some great fight scenes, so I figured at least that'd be entertaining. Besides, I wasn't a Final Fantasy VII fan the first time I saw Advent Children. I loved that movie anyway. It could happen again. You never know.
As your refrigerator, I promise to do my best.
There were pretty action-packed fight scenes, but I didn't really care about them though. Something was missing. Blood Vengeance is pretty mediocre, but its fight scenes were visually similar to Advent Children's. What's the difference? I don't understand what motivates any of these characters to fight. Blood Vengeance is heavily reliant upon its audience's knowledge of the Tekken universe. I had to wonder if Advent Children was any better. Unlike what I did with Blood Vengeance, I didn't go into Advent Children with absolutely no knowledge of what I was about to watch. I'd played through the first disc of Final Fantasy VII. I recognized Cloud and most of his friends. I knew who Aeris was and that she dies. And I knew who Sephiroth was. Perhaps this knowledge was the only reason I could engage in the characters' battles.
Jeez, it's just the fridge. Don't scare me like that. You're just like a refrigerator. As your refrigerator.
No. Surely Advent Children isn't this bad at character development. Let's compare the first fight and the last fight in Blood Vengeance and Advent Children to see what makes one more entertaining than the other for non-fans. The first fight scene in Tekken Blood Vengeance is also the first scene of the movie, making it even more important to introduce the characters and their motivations. The scene begins with Nina Williams, who appears to be on the run. She is ambushed by a giant semi-truck driven by Anna Williams. Both women begin the fight by attempting to brutally murder one another. They emerge from the wreckage unscathed, call each other sisters, and continue fighting. The point of this fight is hidden in a single, easily missed detail. Nina holds up a flash drive, an item she no doubt stole from Anna. Good thing this scene and the next two make absolutely no sense if you miss it.
An ambush. Cute.
Till next time, sweet Anna.
All units pursue, lock down all train lines.
There's no need for that.
What about the intel?
She was nothing more than bait.
This whole ambush was just a decoy?
Tell me how taking their bait wasn't a loss.
They're as hungry for intel as we are.
Good thing also that the English translation of this movie is awful, but that's beside the point. So these women have a reason for fighting. Is it enough to sympathize with either of them? Not really. Remember, these sisters started the fight by attempting to brutally murder one another. Personally, I can't relate to that without any background information. Can we ever sympathize with either of them? Not really. The further we get into this movie, the more distasteful these women get. Nina and Anna work for rival organizations. Mishima Zaibatsu, led by Jin Kazuma, and G Corporation, led by Kazuya Mishima. Jin and Kazuya are after information on the M gene, for the sole purpose of using it to become immortal and more powerful. But what's in it for Anna and Nina? Why do they work for these crazy people? Anna spends most of the movie beating on the main characters and being evil for no reason. Nina briefly questions the possibility that her boss might destroy the world.
I hope you realize what'll happen if you two fight.
If the world can be destroyed by a mere father-son quarrel, then so be it.
And then continues working for him. She helps the main characters, but only to thwart G Corporation.
G-Corp will try and hone in on her internal transmitter.
We'll have to shut down her network link.
G-Corp is on the move. They gotta jump on us.
I'll go ahead and restore Lyssa's network link then. Give her a fighting chance.
And piss off her sister.
You let them get away, didn't you?
These seemingly good deeds are driven by her incomprehensible hatred and her company's unexplained rivalry with G-Corp, which aren't noble or reasonable motivations. In contrast, the first scene of Advent Children gives us plenty of information to speculate on why the fight happened, and a character we can understand. We know a few things about Cloud's personality. He's negligent and moody, but at some point he was nice enough to make some friends, ones who still care about him. He's also somewhat vulnerable, because of some pain in his arm. The audience is much more likely to have experienced depression and pain than to have experienced invincibility and mindless hatred, which already makes Cloud much easier to relate to than Nina or Anna. Even though we don't know a lot about him yet. Laz, Kadaj, and Yazoo are still pretty mysterious, but we know that they're childish and looking for someone. They also start the fight for no apparent reason, establishing themselves as the bad guys. The beauty of this seemingly pointless battle, though, is that Cloud is as clueless as we are, giving us another reason to engage in his plight. Most likely, this battle started because Kadaj and his gang wanted to fight for fun, which matches their childish behavior.
Play with me.
And to gather information on Mother.
Where's Mother?
No, you hid her, brother.
Even if we have no idea what Final Fantasy VII is, Advent Children gives us plenty of clues to help us determine who our hero is, why we should sympathize with him, who the bad guys are, and why they are fighting. This extremely simple but effective character development lets us spend more time watching some great action, and less time figuring out why we should care. An audience member who's never played Tekken before will have a much more difficult time getting into the action in Blood Vengeance, since it gives us no reason to like anyone, and few visual clues as to what's going on. Next episode. How do these films handle the final boss fight, where the boss is someone only fans can truly appreciate? Talk at you next time. And also...
As your refrigerator, I promise to do my best. I can't believe that you're a robot!